Alright guys, so welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video is more of a discussion than it is anything else. There's a lot of stuff right now going on about the Apple Homepod because it gets released this week. And so right now a lot of it is speculation. Specifically going off what Apple has said about this device, I just felt that it was time to give my 2 cents about it, if I think that it's worth the $350, and also going against what the HomePod is competing against. Is it actually worth it? All right, so first off, let's start with the price. $350 for a single speaker that Apple pretty much is telling you is only going to be geared towards people that already have Apple devices. In fact, to set it up, you actually have to have an Apple device with iOS 11.5 or newer. So if you're an Android user, you simply can't even set this thing up if you don't have another Apple device. Now, right there, what Apple's trying to do is what Apple always tries to do, and it's kind of lock you into their ecosystem. Now, is it wrong? No. Apple, in general, as a company, what they're doing is basically like when you buy a PlayStation. You're really only going to be playing PlayStation games. You're not buying a PlayStation so that you can play Xbox games. So I get what Apple's trying to do. But at the same time, with them doing that, they're basically pushing themselves out because their competition can do so much more and actually interacts with a bunch of different music companies. Now, the HomePod may sound amazing. In fact, right now, anybody speculating about it, it's just that. It's just speculation. It could sound incredible. The HomePod is supposed to actually adjust. Like if I put it right here on my desk, it's supposed to know that there's a wall kind of close to this side and kind of close to the back of it. So it's gonna adjust so that it sounds great in each room. And that's really a very nice feature that I think is gonna be great as far as sound quality goes. But again, Apple is tying you into Apple Music. Now, the way that they're expressing it, and again, I could be wrong, this is just what's out there, and if anybody's seen anything different, let me know. But the HomePod has Bluetooth 5.0, but you're not gonna be able to use it as far as just connecting via Bluetooth and playing music off anything or playing YouTube and have the speaker work simply off that. You either have to AirPlay it from an Apple device, and the voice controlled features that Siri's gonna do as far as music goes is only gonna tie into Apple Music and only specific Apple type applications. So who's buying this? Well, obviously people that are tied into Apple's ecosystem, and that's a lot of people. So a lot of people are going to buy this. Do I think that the HomePod is going to be a huge success? To be honest, I don't know. I know it's gonna sell. Anything with Apple right off the bat is gonna sell because it's something new, or people's curiosity gets them to where they want to try the latest and greatest from Apple. Now, the HomePod, as far as feature-wise, and as far as from an outsider from Apple, I see it as far as value-wise, I don't see the value in the features. I don't see the value in having to have Apple Music and having their paid subscription service to be able to use, this speaker to its full potential. Especially considering I'm an Android user, but I'm not tied into just Android. I have the Google Home speakers, but I also have the Amazon speakers because I like diversity. I like some things that one does that another one may not do, and then vice versa. I just like the fact that I can use one either way. Now, I will say this. If you do a little bit of research, this setup right here, this is my computer setup that I can go into. This is where I spend majority of my time. So music in here is extremely, extremely important. Now, would I like to have a HomePod in here? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have one just to try it out. But to be honest, and what I do, and this right here, if you can go and try all these other speakers, and majority of speakers have a line input so that you can plug in an auxiliary cable. This right here is kind of the secret. It's not really a secret, but this is my secret. My computer speakers are the Bose Companion speakers. I love them. I think they sound great, and they're only $100. But they do have an auxiliary input that I'm able to plug in the Echo Dot that only retails for $50. Now, these fluctuate in price, and you can find these cheaper for $50 and $100 speakers. That's $150 total. I have an incredible smart speaker system in here. I can go in and say, play such and such, and it's playing from dual speakers, a stereo sound, you know, sound positioning, and you can get a Bose or higher end surround sound and put it in a room, you know, for less, and $50 into the Echo Dot, and you can have a mind-blowing system that you can go in and speak to, because the Apple AirPod is not portable. It's not something that runs off a battery that you can go from room to room. Siri is one thing that people have complained about since day one. It doesn't respond well, it doesn't know what you're talking about, and compared to Google and compared to Amazon, it's just not as good. And again, that's not bashing Apple, because I think what Apple's doing, as far as from a business standpoint, is very smart. They're keeping you tied into their system, and that's what keeps Apple going, because they want people to use Apple Music. If people's curiosity about the HomePod is so strong, I'm curious. As somebody that enjoys audio, I'm really curious. It might be worth checking out the HomePod. Then it might be worth trying out Apple Music, and it may be so good that now I'm tied into Apple. It's not likely. I'm really happy with my setup here. They're not doing anything new. In fact, this speaker, to me, seems kind of late to the game compared to everything that's out there now. There's tons of speakers out there that uses Amazon services. Google's allowing a lot of companies like Sony and JBL and a lot of those to be able to have their service tied into speakers. So there's other companies playing well with other companies. That's how things work. That's how a lot of people prosper. And again, maybe that's where you don't get, you know, you're feeling exclusive by being a part of just Apple. Some people just like feeling exclusive, like they're special. And again, some people are tied into Apple.
Neither of you have iPhones?
There's a lot of services that are not going to work on the HomePod, and you can't even Bluetooth that in, so do keep that in mind. But really the reason I'm wanting to do this video is kind of a discussion. Are you interested in the HomePod? You know, what smart speaker system are you interested in? Which ones do you use? But I'm personally telling you right now, the Echo Dot tied into any speaker system that has the auxiliary input is a much better way to go. And you'd be amazed at what you could come up with and still come in under the cost of the HomePod. So am I saying that Apple is doing something stupid here? No. I just, again, like always, don't agree with Apple's way of doing things. I think they're late to the game. They're not bringing anything new. I don't think feature-wise you're getting what you're paying for. I don't know as far as sound because I haven't heard it. I'm very curious and I do hope to get my hands on it. But as of right now, $350 just seems like way too much for just a speaker that you're tied into one system, and there's really no other way to go. And in fact, a lot of the features for the HomePod are even on their website saying it's coming later this year. So you're spending money on a system that as of right now, you're not really gonna get the full potential right off the bat. It comes out this week, but a lot of the things are saying coming later this year. So I don't think right off the bat it's time to buy this thing. I think give it some time. Maybe they'll expand on some of this and maybe work with some other things and play nice. Probably not. But in the meantime, it's not worth it to me. Is it worth it to you guys? What do you guys think? I'm really curious. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.